Hello viewers, I'm Ria Zolari. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If this is your first time logging on my channel, please become a part of the family by subscribing. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for following my works and the level of support. On this channel, we are on a mission to redefine Liberia positively by showing you what Liberians and other nationals are involved with here. So this video will help you to make a decision from an informed standpoint if you were considering investing into petroleum business or petroleum firm in Liberia. If you weren't thinking of petroleum, this also will help you perhaps to put it on your list of companies to open in Liberia or business to do in Liberia. So let us jump straight into this. Previously or in the past, the LPRC, Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, was the only company that had exclusive rights to import petroleum products or to do petroleum business into the country, but that was revised in 2011, 2012, or during the regime of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and the market was open up to private people to come and do business. So these firms are either owned by local companies, or that is Liberians themselves, or these firms are also owned by foreigners, like some company like Total, for example, which is being owned by the French. So as per this policy, what is the meaning of an importer? So an importer is a corporation organized and operating under the laws of Liberia, authorized to engage in the sale and distribution of petroleum products, which has represented to LPRC that it possesses the financial means and the resource capability to import environmentally safe petroleum products. And underneath, it talks about the firm, it talks about Liberian ownership. So an importer can be either a Liberian or a foreigner. So a Liberian firm is a firm having 50% or more Liberian ownership, while a foreign firm is a firm having non-Liberian citizen ownership. So we come to the importation requirements. What are the requirements? Number one, expression of interest through letter of intent to LPRC. You must have a current business registration document. You must also have article of incorporation. You must have bank references. You must also have an annual importation fee. So annual importation fee is broken down into three categories. The first category is 125,000. This is for 100% foreign firms. Then we have US 75,000, and this is for shared ownership, not less than 40% ownership by Liberian. And then we have 50,000 for Liberian firms, and these are all United States dollars. And then you must have also a tax clearance for previous and current year. Also, you must have a license duration of 1 year. Also in this policy, they have performance requirements for obtaining annual importation license. The first of that is financial performance, and the percent allocated per area is 20%. Other investment or job creation, 20%. Level of experience, 15%. Liberianization, 20%. Performance assessment, 25%. So the total of this is 100%. They say the importer must achieve an overall score of 80% in order to obtain annual importation license. So these are broken down according to this policy. The first one, financial performance. So let me read word for word. They say importers must present evidence of financial ability such as audited financial statements together with financial ratios, bank references, etc. Importers must show satisfaction performance of existing arrangement with LPRC such as showing of full and timely payments on a regular basis. All outstanding balances over 30 days must be cleared before the issuance of importation license for the next year. This applies to storage, office rental, and handling fees to LPRC. The importer must also be in good standing with the government as it relates to the payment of taxes and fees. But this is in relations to current importers. So the first on the list is financial performance. Under financial performance, the importer must show to LPRC through bank statements also that she is not owing LPRC either for handling and storage fees, and also she is not owing the government of Liberia. She is in some good financial standing, and this applies to current importers before your license can be renewed. But if you are in some areas, that must be cleared 30 days before you apply for your next license. That is the first and foremost. Then we move to the next. The next on the list is other investment or job creation. As an importer, you must provide jobs for the people, and you must be into some other business or some other ventures. Yeah, perhaps you can be into maybe lubricants business, perhaps you can be into gas station business, but you must be into some other business, and you must show proof of what other business you are involved with to LPRC. So let me just read a few lines straightly from the policy. They say the importer must show his or her business plan with projected local growth for the next 5 years, including projected number of employees in Liberia, current number of employees, and type and value of other investments. So here is it. The next on the list is level of experience. So you are to show to LPRC, if you want to get involved with this business, that you have some experience or authority in the oil and gas industry, either in Liberia or elsewhere, but you need to have some knowledge on it. If you yourself, you don't have knowledge on it, perhaps you can bring around people who have previous knowledge or people who have knowledge about it. So that will be accepted and granted as well. The next is Liberianization. And Liberianization is all about giving Liberian firms preferences. And under Liberianization, it talks about if a foreign firm is not into business and he wants to import petroleum products in Liberia, a Liberian must be incorporated, or they must partner with a Liberian or a Liberian-owned company, and that Liberian-owned company must have 40% share into that business. And also it talks about a Liberian company as well. If a Liberian company is not into some other business, right, that Liberian company must partner also with some other companies, and all that is about having strong importers. So under the same Liberianization, it gives Liberians exclusive rights to be petroleum distributors. So let us move to the key areas, and let me read as per the policy. 6.0, it says monthly request procedures. The importer shall notify LPRC. LPRC is Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, with details of shipment of products imported, and such details shall be made available at least 15 calendar days prior to the arrival of the vessel at the port of Monrovia. The importer shall not move to action without the written approval of the Deputy Managing Director for Operations. Any importer violating this vessel procedure will be denied access at the port. So you're talking about shipment, right? If you want to bring in any ship or vessel or so, you need to notify LPRC in or before 15 days, or in about 15 days before bringing the vessel, and you need to do it with the DMDO, Deputy Managing Director for Operations. So 7.0 says minimum importation quota. You as an importer, what or how much the minimum, the lowest product you are to bring as an importer. So let's read. The importer must import a minimum quantity of 5,000 metric tons of mixed products per quarter, and of cargo sizes of not less than 1,500 metric tons per shipment. All importers must maintain a minimum stock of not less than 500 metric tons of mixed products in storage at all times as strategic reserve. So here it talks about what are you to import. It talks about mixed grade. Mixed grade is AGO. Is how I should put it. Okay, diesel, gasoline, and HFO. HFO is heavy fuel oil. So you are to import a minimum per year 5,000 metric tons, and when you are bringing it, it should be at least 1,500 metric tons per shipment. And also in LPRC tanks, as per this policy, I don't know if it is holding now, but as per the policy, you should keep a minimum of 500 metric tons of mixed grade. Mixed grade means all three of the cargoes combined, but it must be 500 metric tons minimum as a reserve for you, the product. They have 8.0 quality assurance. Imported petroleum products shall at all times meet LPRC acceptable standard and specification. See product spec sheet attached. So what happens is when you bring in your vessel, LPRC will send officials of the lab to go and do sampling and testing, and they have a listing, right, of spec to reach. They will check the quality of whatever product you've brought, for example the sulfur content and so forth. So it must reach LPRC spec. If you are out of spec, the product will be denied, and probably the vessel or the product will be sent back. So if you are bringing in product or importing product, you need to go by LPRC spec. We have payment terms. The importer shall pay LPRC fees for storage and handling, and such other fees as LPRC may levy from time to time for each gallon of petroleum product delivered into LPRC tanks pursuant to the import license. The importer shall provide a bank guarantee for each importation of petroleum product as collateral. So what it means? It means that LPRC is solely responsible for handling, and for storage we have private terminals also responsible for storage as well. So the storage fees you will pay to wherever terminal you are storing your product, but for the handling LPRC is responsible for handling. So you have to clear up these two fees. And you need to get LC, letter of credit, from a bank as a guarantee or a collateral when you are breaking in. They say 50% of LPRC fees shall be payable within 5 days of the invoice date. The balance 50% shall be payable within 21 days commencing from the date of LPRC's invoice. Failing which, LPRC shall have the right to restrict or prohibit the discharge of the importer's products from LPRC tanks and facilities. So what it says that for both handling and storage, when you bring in your product, after 5 days, you have to pay 50%. For example, you bring in 1 million gallons. So once you store it at LPRC facility, after 5 days, you have to pay 50%, and after 21 days, you pay the balance 50%. So we come to government obligation as per this policy. They say the importer shall be responsible for and to pay directly to the government of Liberia the full amount stipulated by the government of Liberia relative to import levy and sales tax on each gallon of petroleum products imported and or sold in the Republic of Liberia, failing which LPRC shall have the right to restrict or prohibit the discharge of the importer's product from LPRC's tanks and facility. The importer shall also be responsible for and to pay the government of Liberia the 2% turnover tax as prescribed by law, failing which LPRC shall have the right to restrict or prohibit the discharge of the importer's product from LPRC's tanks and storage facilities. So there are a couple of tax. The government have government tax, sales and levy tax, and also the government have roll fund. On every gallon of petroleum product, the government have these taxes. So the importer is to collect these taxes and remit it to the government of Liberia's account. So LPRC or this policy is saying that if you fail to do this, what LPRC will do, she will stop you from lifting your product. Showcase. You will be stopped from lifting or delivering your balanced product that is in LPRC tanks. We have 11.0 pricing structure. It said to ensure the interests of the government of Liberia and that of the consuming public, the wholesale prices for petroleum products imported into the Republic shall be jointly worked out and determined by the importer, the Ministry of Commerce, and LPRC in accordance with the costing formula developed by LPRC and the Ministry of Commerce. The costing formula shall be reviewed as often as deemed necessary by LPRC and the Ministry of Commerce, but in any event, not less than every month, based on a 2-month moving average of the Platts daily price quotes. The costing formula shall be reviewed taking into account the following: Platts, the freight, premium and insurance, the finance charge, the government taxes, the LPRC storage taxes, the port charges, allowance for evaporation, and also the allowance for profit. So these are the things, right, both the importer, LPRC, and the Ministry of Commerce were used to determine the price ceiling. And with this, let me stress this, with this, they will put out a plight, and this plight will be mostly a price ceiling where importers cannot sell above. For example, they will say 1 gallon of maybe gasoline must be sold at $5.24. So that $5.24, no importer should go above it. So if you sell at that price, fine. If you sell below, or not so below because you are making business, that's fine. But you shouldn't go above that government price. So be it. This is it. The next time, maybe we'll talk about what are the requirements to opening a distribution company in Liberia, petroleum distribution. So thank you so much once again for following me, and please subscribe if you are new to this channel. Thank you.